Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Sincerely Shakti. This one is a very near and dear subject to my heart, and frankly, it's a subject that only recently has come into sharp focus for me about why I haven't been successful with it in the past. So the title of this particular video blog is called Doing It Anyway, The Secret to Motivation. And I wanted to make this video because I know I'm not the only one who has experienced this, and I'm sure that no matter what capacity this has happened to you in, whether it's your personal life, your professional life, or your business, that you have come up against this. And if you have not overcome this, then you're still dealing with the repercussions of that thing. So I am a business owner, and I have a health and fitness business. And I do it in correlation with Team Beachbody. So I'm an independent coach. And I started my business 4 months ago. And part of the business and working as a coach is working on ourselves, right? So a great part of the business is making sure that we are on a fitness program, that we are drinking our Shakeology daily and keeping our nutrition in alignment, and that we are doing certain business activities that are necessary to grow a business and move the business forward. Let me just preface this and say that I have not always been a fitness fanatic, okay? Fitness really only came into my life about maybe 3 to 4 years ago, where I realized that I was suffering from a myriad of health conditions that I couldn't get any concrete answers for, and that didn't seem to have a solution, or at least an allopathic medical solution. And I said, you know what, the one thing in my life I know for sure I'm not doing is moving my body enough. At that point, I was very, very stagnant. So I decided to start working out. And for me, when I started, it looked a lot like going to the gym and feeling extremely awkward, trying machines I had never even seen before in my life and had no idea how they work. So I would just like stand by the machine and read like the little pictures on them and like try my hardest not to look like an idiot on a machine, right? Or hurt myself, because I'm a massage therapist. So I was very aware that I could easily hurt myself if I was using something incorrectly. So yeah, that's not like super exciting or really cool, but that's exactly how my fitness journey started. So just to give you a little bit of perspective of where my fitness journey started, and this was only about 4 years ago. So that being said, now being in this business where my job is to mentor customers and coaches on their personal health and fitness goals, it requires a lot of consistency on my end when it comes to working out and running my business. And of course, I'm a human being. So there are days when I do not feel like pushing play on a program and working out. I don't. What I feel like doing is laying on my couch and reading a book forever until my kid wakes up. And then I have to deal with a baby and then get back to my book and stay in a robe and drink coffee all day long. Like that is sort of what like an ideal day for me when I'm feeling really unmotivated. So it's natural. It's natural to have days where you don't want to do what you know you need to do. It's natural to have days where you do not want to work out. It's natural to have days where you don't want to be on point with your nutrition. It's natural to have days where you don't want to do the activities that you know are necessary to run a business, a successful business at that. That is completely normal and natural. Okay. So first of all, quit feeling guilty or quit feeling like you suck or quit feeling like you just need to quit because you have those feelings. That's part of human nature. It's going to happen. I read a quote somewhere and I don't even remember exactly how it goes, but it was something like, motivation does wear off, which is it? Motivation wears off just like bathing. That's why we recommend it daily. Right? When I read that for the first time, I was laughing so hard because it's so true. Motivation is a daily thing. Now, what I have found is, let's say I don't want to work out, but I do it anyways because I know that I should be doing this thing. It's good for me, and I do it. By the end of it, I'm very glad that I did it. I've never once worked out and been like, man, I super regret doing that workout. It's never happened because once you're in the activity, you naturally kick up the energy behind the activity. Maybe sometimes you drag all the way through it, but by the end of it, you know you're grateful you did it because it's important for your progress. Same thing goes with business activities. Sometimes I don't want to do my business activities. I don't want to take that hour out of my time with my husband, with my kid, with my life to do them, but I sit down and I do them anyway. And by the end of it, I feel very accomplished, and I'm glad that I did them because I know that I did something to move my business forward one more step or two more steps. Okay, so something happens in your body physically, in your physiology, when you don't want to do something, but you do it anyways. Okay, you begin to formulate motivation. So a lot of times I feel like in our culture, we just feel, and I'm also a writer, and I paint as well. So as an artist, we kind of have this idea of waiting for the muse to strike us, and we won't do shit with our lives until the muse strikes us. But what I've learned, especially in this business, is that you can create the motivation to do anything once you're in the motion of doing that thing. I really feel like this is the secret to motivation. The secret to motivation is doing it anyways. When you don't want to do it, acknowledge that and then do it anyways. And you don't want to do it again, acknowledge that and do it anyway, and do it anyway, and do it anyway. And what ends up happening is when you've done that enough, you've created a new habit, a new routine in your brain, in your body. You've created an expectancy to do that thing. So the motivation will show up when you need it. Something that really helps with this is scheduling things. If you always tend to do your workout at the same time, or you always tend to work your business at the same time, you start to create an expectancy in your mind and in your body that you're going to do that thing at that time. So find out what times are best for you. Like if you're trying to schedule a workout, are you more awake and more alert in the morning or in the evening? You're always going to find there's a time where you're way more on point. For me, it happens to be with workouts. It's either like early to mid-afternoon, between like 11 and 2, I'm in a great place to do a workout. I have a ton of energy. Any earlier and I'm very sluggish and cold. Any later and I'm exhausted and I don't want to do it. So I discovered that through trial and error, right? So now I always fit in my workouts in that window of time because I know I'm going to be at my best. And because I've done that, my body has now created an expectancy to do a workout in between those two time frames. Okay, so that is a way of training yourself to create motivation. Motivation can be made. And this applies to everything, you guys. Like if you're in a long-term relationship and you find that, you know, the passion is out in your relationship, or you just don't feel the same butterflies that you felt when you first got in the relationship, I firmly believe that when you truly love someone, those butterflies never go away. You just have to practice at love. When you're first in love, it's so easy. It's so easy to buy someone flowers. It's so easy to write them a nice note. It's so easy. You don't have to try because the motivation, the muse is there. It's very automatic. But as time goes on and we become accustomed to each other and used to being around each other, we now have to give birth to our motivation. We have to work our motivation sometimes. And it doesn't mean that anything is wrong, and it doesn't mean that your relationship is any less valuable. That's normal. It's a natural part of life. So begin by practicing this idea of if you don't feel motivated, do it anyway. Don't feel motivated, do it anyway. If you don't want to write someone a nice card, but you kind of know that you should, it's the right thing to do, do it. If you haven't bought flowers for someone in a long time, but you feel like you really should, do it. Just do it anyways. And I promise you that by just doing making those small choices and doing those small actions, the motivation will come. And you will realize that persistence is really the secret to maintaining motivation and essentially to maintaining success. All right. So thank you guys so much for watching. Post any comments or questions you have on the bottom of this. Share this video if you know people that could really use a little boost on motivation. And I will see you guys next time. Sincerely, Shakti.